The views and opinions of the guest do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of BODS Mayhem Radio Network, its staff, affiliates, or sponsors. Parental discretion is advised. Welcome to BODS Mayhem Radio Network.
Hi there, this is Jens from Corroded. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour, your source for all hard rock, heavy metal, new metal, alternative, punk, horror punk, hardcore, rock, and all local bands, with your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather.
Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, a.k.a. the Bodfather, and as always, I'm bringing you guys awesome interviews. Today, it's an honor and a privilege to have Mr. Jens Westin. He's the vocalist of Corroded. Corroded have released their second studio album entitled Bitter via Despotz Records, and this makes their fifth studio album in all. So we're going to talk to him about that. So Jens, how's it going, man?
Yeah, it's good.
Glad to have you on the show. Let's jump right into this. So how's it been working with Despotz Records so far for you guys?
It's been all good. I mean, it's been super nice. Those guys are really good to work with, so it's nice.
Any song standing out more to you than any right now, if possible, on this new album? I know it must change every time you listen to it, but do you have any favorites possibly?
Yeah, right now, I think the one that sort of... that I've been listening to most because we're playing it live, it's been Breathing.
Who produced this album, Jens?
That was us, actually. That's the second album that we produced ourselves. So that was nice, but it's, I think next album we need to work with a producer as well. So
that was going to be my next question. Do you like to have the freedom to do this when you want to and versus a producer?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of a double-edged sword. The thing with a producer is, I mean, when it works, it's super good. It's all good. But when it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It really doesn't work. But when you're doing it yourself, it's hard because every song is kind of like your baby. But yet you try to learn to kill your darlings. But it's hard because you're too close to the songs yourself.
Yeah, for sure. I know these albums change from each one that you guys put out, but what do you hope everyone takes away from the new album, or message you hope they hear while listening to it, or just any of Corroded's music in general? What do you hope that they get from it?
Yeah, I think most of all, just fun. Just like it. I mean, if you don't like it, that's good. That's fine as well. But feel something. I think that's the most important part of any album at all.
And I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm sure people are sick of me saying this, but I'll say this to the day that they put me in the ground or set my ass on fire, whatever they want to do. But music is a language for everybody. It's a relief for everybody, man. It's the best drug you could have.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that. Absolutely.
The artwork for this album, I want to give a shout out to the artists who did this, because I think it's pretty cool. I don't think they get enough shout outs on these interviews and things. But who did the artwork for this album?
That was a guy in Germany called Holger Fichtner. He's been doing some work with Till Lindemann, if you know of him, Rammstein.
Yeah.
And he's been doing a lot of work with a lot of different bands, of course. Yeah, the first time we saw his artwork, we felt that we needed to do something with this guy because he's been doing a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, he's super cool stuff that he's doing.
Would you say it's been a struggle with this band to get albums out, or just anything in general? Because I know you guys have took some lumps and get back up, take 2 steps forward and take 2 steps back. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean. Since we kind of broke up with the former label, and we just felt that it didn't work because they took a different direction label wise than what we were like from the beginning, that what they had. So we felt that we weren't a priority on that label. So that took time, and it's been like you say, it's been almost like 1 step forward and 2 steps back. So yeah. But at the same time, I mean, we're not doing this for the money or anything like that. If we would like to make some money, we would choose something else, not music.
Yeah.
So but yeah.
And you're right, man. I've seen a lot of bands said the same thing that you just said, that, you know, when you split from a record label and you have to go find somebody else, you may not get that chance. So it's it's very hard to do that. And it's very, I wouldn't say aggravating, but it's just more, well, I guess it is aggravating because you want to get back out there. You want to get somebody to latch on to you.
Yeah. I mean, we had the great fortune to be able to play live otherwise it would have been like a 5-year hiatus, involuntary hiatus for us. But
geez,
we had the great fortune of being able to play live for that period on the old albums. So that was good for us. Otherwise, I mean, it's hard enough as it is. So yeah, without that possibility, we probably wouldn't be here today.
Folks, if you follow Corroded, I think this is pretty damn cool. When I was checking this out, and this is I didn't know this. I think this is really awesome for this band, for what they've been through. You guys played the Sweden Rock Festival, man, where you guys went down in history at the 4 Sound stage with the largest crowd. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, after everything you've been through, man, what's that mean to you guys so far?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that we did not expect at all. Of course, I mean, last day of Sweden Rock, you got one of the earliest spots on the festival, and I mean, day 4, people are tired. Of course, it's been like 4 days of constant drinking and partying and listening to a lot of good bands. And when we got up on stage and just saw the crowd, it was absolutely mental. I mean, that was.
I'm going to go back to the Bitter album. I want to ask one more question before I forget this, and I forgive me that I have. But how long did it take to get this together, finish it, and complete it? How long did that take you guys?
Man, it's that's a difficult question, because we didn't work with the album the way that we planned from the beginning. Because, I mean, as I said, we've been fortunate enough to do a lot of live shows. But I would say somewhere around 6 months, perhaps.
Mm-hmm. How much growth musically have you seen this band, and including yourself, go through up to the release of this album? Or has it just been more of a personal growth, Jens, for all of you guys involved in this?
I think it's been, from if you look at this album in particular, I mean, we felt that it was time for us to do something. For us, this is completely different. I mean, the sound and the songs are completely different, but at the same time, for most people, it's like a Corroded album. So, but we tried to let the more thrashier part of the metal shine through in the songs, and I think that we kind of perhaps did a good job in that.
Perhaps.
yeah, but it's super hard, because when you're this close to the songs on the album, it's really hard to know to try to be objective.
Sure, yeah. So do you like this change in the band? Do you like this direction, or kind of iffy so
I mean,
far?
it's been like a natural progress for us for a lot of years. We've been trying to do harder stuff, and that was also one of the reasons why we wanted to break up with the other label, because they wanted us to do and take another direction. But we wanted to do something that was more to the bone, a bit grittier and harder. So it's been like the natural progression for us.
Yeah, to hell with that, man. Be your own band. I mean, that's what got you here to begin with. I mean, why would you want to stray away from something that you're not?
Exactly. I mean, even though, I mean, the first 3 albums as well, I mean, I love those albums.
Sure.
It's something that I'm totally behind and absolutely love, but we needed to make some sort of changes. And I think this is the right way for us to do this.
So do you do anything differently during the writing and recording process to maybe help keep your mind fresh and open and not get bored with it, not let the music get stale? Do you do anything to help you, man, or any at all?
Nah, I mean, you got the world when it comes to the lyrics part. The world as itself, it's like an oyster that's bad but keeps on giving. It's like, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on everywhere, and everyone is sort of, if you look at the social medias or if you look in the papers or what have you, it's always the same. Everyone is thinking that everyone else has it better than them, which is kind of weird, because if you look at the world as a whole, it's never been this good, actually, which is kind of weird, because everything you see in the papers is how bad it is. It's war and it's despair and people are trying to get by. But actually, people are having it better than they had before. We just didn't see the people that had it bad before Facebook and everything else. So, or didn't care or whatever. So yeah, that's something that, yeah, just keeps on giving.
So for the fans who have not got to see you guys live as of yet, what are they going to get when they come and see you guys live?
Compared to when you hear us on the album, I mean, it's a completely different monster. It's way harder, and it's rougher, and it's a lot of energy, and it's all just balls in.
So let me ask you this question then. So would you say that Corroded is more of a live band versus, say, studio band? If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have always been like a live band.
Yeah.
We absolutely love to be in the studio, but it's now we're a live band. That's it.
So we're living in the digital era of recording albums to get music out quicker, and now we've got social media to reach out to more people. Do you like this, man, that to get albums up quicker, and plus social media to reach out to folks who may not have heard your guys' music as of yet? Do you like this?
Absolutely. It's the same here. You got the digital media, which before the labels knew how to handle it, that was a huge problem, since they didn't join up and didn't understand. So it's been like for the musicians, it's been a rough couple of years, of course, because even though more people are hearing what you're doing, you need to tour constantly, because you don't make any sort of money on doing the albums nowadays, or not as much at least. So it's but I like it. I just gotta admit it. I love it. I think it's good.
You know, I see so many musicians, and I don't mean to say this bad, but this is just the truth. This is just what I see from like social media and things. I see a lot of them knocking their fans. And
which is weird.
Yeah, it is very weird. I'm like, they put you where you're at.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of biting the hand that fed you, because, I mean, don't do that. Yeah, I just saw one of the guys that I sort of admired before. He's always been like a cool guy, but I just read some stuff about him, which I believe is true, because, I mean, he said it in many interviews.
Yeah, and I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he hates meeting fans and charge fans for meeting him, and because he doesn't make as much cash as before. And yeah, I mean, yeah.
I saw that, Jens, and I was just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Come on. Even if you hate it, there are, and you know this as well as I do. You're a musician. There's other ways around this to communicate with your fans. You can have a ton of merch stuff and sign a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. I mean, if meeting fans is that big of a deal, or as rough and hard and you hate it that much, don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Just don't play music at all.
Yeah.
Do studio albums, be happy with that, and don't tour. I mean, stop being a fucking asshole. Sorry.
No, I mean...
it needed to be said.
I totally agree with you, man. That makes me want to take all the posters and things I have signed by him down. I mean, I've got many things signed right now.
I get it because I mean, of course, you can sort of be annoyed of how everything is going right now, but you can't just, I mean, don't take it out on the fans.
Exactly. And just like I said, I've had many conversations with my friends that's in music, and plus, other musicians. Just sign, some posters, sign some CDs, sign some,
exactly.
and make your money that way. And Jens, as well as I do, fans will eat that up.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we always try after the show to get out there and sign stuff, even though, I mean, I don't care if it's a piece of paper or if they bought the album. I mean, yay. Or if they bought a T-shirt or a hoodie or whatever. But I sign a piece of paper. I sign a tit every day. I mean, it doesn't matter for me.
Yeah. I normally do this. I like your guys' music. I don't care. Any bands that's been on my show, if you've got merchandise, and say like if you got a poster, if you got a signed CD or signed poster, buttons, whatever, I buy it to support you.
Yeah, it's the same for me. I mean, I still buy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, if I like what I hear, I will buy it, and I will listen to it on Spotify or digital media as well. But I will buy the products. I will buy the T-shirts. I will buy the hoodie. I will buy the vinyls. I will buy it because I like it.
Metallica is my favorite all-time band, and I've said this many times. The bands they've saved my life.
Yeah.
So I mean, they came out with that Helping Hands acoustic album not long ago.
Yeah.
And all the proceeds that went to that album went to that foundation to help that, I guess, like a food drive or something or other, but the actual money went to that, the proceeds.
Yeah. So and, I mean, they played here in Sweden and they gave a lot of away to charity here as well. Kudos to those guys. I mean, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I bought the digital copy of the album. I bought the vinyl. I bought the actual CD. I mean, it's going for a good cause, folks.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just if you like it, and if you want to keep let the musicians keep on doing what they're doing, I mean, help them out. It's that easy.
You're overseas. It's hard to get out for a band, even over here, just to get recognized.
Yeah. So even though, as we said before, I mean, as it is today with social medias and all the different channels, digital on the internet and everything, it's still super hard because you start to understand how many good bands there are out there as well.
Yes, very true, good friend. Very, very true. In your own opinion, what does Corroded bring to the table for music that's not out there or possibly maybe missing out there right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think what we try to bring all the time is some sort of honesty and in what we're doing. And I think that we're trying to find a segment, or have found a segment, that's kind of unique, at least. It's not thrash metal, it's not hard rock, it's not metal. It's a weird mix in what we're doing, and I like it.
Yes, sir. I can't stress this enough, folks, and people that's out there in a band or wanting to get into a band. Don't be fucking scared to love your own music. If you can't stand by your music, then how are we going to stand by it?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, of course, if we didn't like the stuff, we wouldn't record it.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
What made you want to become a musician, Jens? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do right there?
Yeah, it was kind of a fluke. I mean, I had some friends that were playing in a band, and there was this guitarist, an older guy, who was there showing some stuff. I didn't play at the time at all. And one of the guitarists in the band, I think I was like 12 or 13, 12 years old. And one of the guitarists in that band went to the toilet, and I asked if I could try the guitar. It sounds awesome and I want to try it. And I think the first riff that I learned was Back in Black, AC/DC.
Oh, nice.
And it just, was something that I felt I needed to do for the rest of my life. I need to play the guitar. I need to do this.
At least it wasn't like Smoke on the Water, because that's all I hear now. I learned Smoke on the Water, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that was a song that came, but that song came a lot later for me. It was just back, yeah. But it was AC/DC Back in Black. That was the first riff.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday was the anniversary of Bon Scott's passing, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So,
unfortunate passing, but
Yes.
at the same time, I mean, they it was all right, because Back in Black wouldn't have been the same album with Bon Scott. I think Brian Johnson was the best possible solution for that band.
It still blows my mind, Jens, when I listen to Bon Scott and then I listen to Brian Johnson and go, holy fuck. I mean, it's just like they didn't miss a beat.
No, I mean, it's really odd, because I mean, they sort of sound really different, but at the same time, it's more or less exactly the same. They had that sort of, they had it as a singer. I mean, as a vocalist, they had that special something that it just made it possible for those guys to record. I mean, everything from for me, it's like Power Rage, awesome album. You got Back in Black. For those about rock, everyone keeps on forgetting Flick of the Switch, which is an awesome album in itself. Yeah, I'm a huge AC/DC fan. Has always been.
And to me, they have a lot of songs that are underrated.
Yeah, absolutely. I really like it when you hear like Angus Young saying stuff like he thinks it's unfair for people to say that they have recorded 12 albums that sounds exactly the same. It's 13, which is fucking awesome.
That's true.
That is
true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
No, I mean, it's been good from the first riff. Unfortunate the last albums has been kind of so.
Yeah.
I just have to admit it. That was kind of natural when you understood that Mal had Alzheimer's, and so that was a sad day as well when he passed.
For me, I love AC/DC. I like a lot of their songs, but one song for me that stands out above the rest is Touch Too Much.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my God, ain't it?
Super good. For me, it's like, I mean, Touch Too Much from Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
Awesome song. But for me, it's like the songs that don't get that much recognition. It's songs like Give Me a Bullet or Gone Shooting. Those, I mean, they got something else. It's a kind of a weird groove to it that's super, super cool.
And back to Touch Too Much, it's got that kick in it that I like in a song. It's got the slow, and then it just, like, God, it just hits you.
Yeah,
So,
it's a super awesome song.
Yeah. Is there a country, man, that stands out or even shocks you that Corroded gets support from, or even your music gets played in that area?
Nah, I think it doesn't. I mean, it's super nice to see that we're starting to get a sort of a following in the States, and that's awesome. That's super nice. But at the same time, it's not something that we get shocked or perhaps more like we should be bigger in Scandinavia. So, but that's just my opinion, my humble opinion.
Get off your asses and make them popular, guys. What the hell?
No, but it's like it's not something that we get shocked or get surprised by, that we see that we get that much airtime or Spotify plays or any kind of whatever. It's I mean, we've been working hard for this for a lot of years.
Folks, you want to get out and pick up Corroded's new album that's entitled Bitter. It's out right now via Despotz Records. And this is pretty cool from these guys. It's a heavier version of the band from what they have done previously. Some good tracks on this album, and you won't be disappointed. So, Jens, how can folks stay in touch with you, buy some merchandise, tour dates, tickets? How can they do that, my friend?
Yeah, I mean, just the easiest way is to check out the Facebook page. Just look for Corroded or Corroded Sweden. yeah, that's the easiest way right now.
Before I let you go, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Absolutely, my friend. Hi there, this is Jens from Corroded. You're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great stuff coming up. You only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and BODS Mayhem Radio Network. Please go out and check out our Facebook page. It has our podcast link. Plus, it has our YouTube link. And soon we'll have a Twitch link where you can watch everything live that we can bring you live. Please get out and check out Corroded. Pick up this new album from these guys. They have some great music out there, and they don't disappoint. So, Jens, thank you so much, and keep doing what you're doing, man.
It's been a pleasure, sir.